One of the strangest and most mysterious ancient monuments in the world is right here. It is a humanoid figure etched into a hillside in Dorset, England, probably over 1,000 years ago. It is called the Cerne Abbas Giant, and even if you've heard of it, there's something about it that I bet you didn't know. First of all, we have no idea who made it or why they made it. As for when it was made, our guesses have been all over the place. Once upon a time, they thought it may have been prehistoric. Some thought it was the product of the Roman Empire, that it may have been a depiction of Hercules. And I know what you're waiting for me to bring up. We're going to get to it. Our current best guess is that the giant was made between 1,000 and 1,300 years ago. They think it may have been made by pagans in England who were resisting being converted to Christianity. There were a number of these hillside drawings, and they're all made by just creating a shallow trench and filling it in with crumbled chalk. Which brings me to the question that I know many of you have been dying to ask, which is, why does it have an enormous 26-foot long boner? But that brings me back to the thing I mentioned at the start, the thing that I said I bet most of you didn't know. See, the thing is, a mere trench full of gravel is not something that itself is going to last 1,000 years. It only looks like this because the locals have been maintaining it. Well, one reason why we don't know how old it is because written records only go back to about the 17th century. And they think that it may have been lost for centuries before that somebody just allowed it to be overgrown and that it was discovered again. So scientists have spent a lot of time analyzing the dig, trying to find its origins. And one thing they have discovered is that during these various periods of restorations, they have made minor changes to it. For example, there are indications that at one time its extended arm there was holding something, maybe a cloak or an animal skin. And when they do their analysis with LiDAR and all of that, it does appear that the original design was wearing pants, and that the addition of that part of its anatomy, its most famous part, was fairly recent, and we don't know why. Some think it may have been added as a protest, a type of graffiti, specifically to offend the sensibilities of the Christian church. But there's another theory that it was just a prank, because the guys who owned this piece of land back in the 17th century were the type to do this kind of thing. And if that's true, and I so badly want it to be, imagine going back in time and finding those guys and telling them that it's still there 300 and some years later, because we had been carefully maintaining it, thinking it was an ancient fertility symbol. I think they would find that very, very funny.